This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV. Sonny Edwards, have you ever watched a UFC fight before?
Yeah. Not live, but yeah.
So you know what tap out means?
No. When I watch, they usually do knockouts.
So for context here, you've choked me out, I've tapped out, and you proceed to try and render me unconscious, as Carl Froch would say.
I thought that meant you're doing a good job. Keep going.
Oh, a little pat on the back?
Yeah. Like a pat of encouragement is what I thought it was.
Okay, well, my neck is still hurting, but we'll go with it. IBA, Dubai, another brilliant event. I was in Istanbul earlier on in the year. Your first time at one of these, Sonny?
Yeah, first time. A pleasure to be invited. Really enjoying my time so far. Some great fights in the IBA Amateur World Cup semi-finals. Bachkov maybe was a little bit unlucky there, but I didn't get to watch all of the fight. But yeah, some really, really good fights. Surprised at how slick the Russians are these days. I remember they was always just sort of tucked up, moving forward, closed guard, being stronger than the opponents, but some real slick fighters in the Russian vest at the moment.
Who wins tomorrow, Pulev or Gassiev?
I don't really know, you know. It was kind of like a, I don't want to say like random fight, but not a fight that I ever thought I'd see. Pulev may be favourite as the bigger man, and maybe done a bit more, especially in the heavyweight division. He's a handful for anyone really, but if Gasev can sort of, you know, land some clean shots, walk him onto him and use the size to his advantage, he should be a bit more efficient. And yeah, I'd be leaning towards Pulev, I think. And if he comes out looking good, I think it sets up a lot of fighters to fight him next year. Like look at the likes of Moser, Dalma. There's a few British guys, even Lawrence Okoli. I think them sort of fights would be, I think they would be recognisable names that people from both sides of the world recognise and people would be excited for.
Yeah, that WBA regular heavyweight title is on the line, and there was a lot of talk in the last 6 weeks about Moser to Dalma fighting for that. It is Pulev's belt. What would be a better fight at this stage right now for Moses? Is it Jermaine Franklin, who he's fighting in January, or would it be Pulev off the back of beating, potentially tomorrow night, Murat Gasev?
Well, I think he's in, you know, both of those fights are in the sort of right ballpark. He needs names that have been in against the big dogs, you know, to start of putting out a measuring stick to showing people, look, he's beating them better than these guys are, and that's how he's going to get more general public awareness. I think he's doing a great job so far. He's looked excellent, Moses. He's looked as clinical and as spiteful and as composed and as dangerous as you possibly could be looking so far at this stage of his career, and he's already got a few good couple of wins under his belt, and if he keeps pushing on, then he'll be looking at the elite within the next probably 18 months, 24 months.
Busy last couple of weeks of the year for you. So you've got Giorgio Visioli, Brad Casey, anybody else chucked in there?
Leo Atang's fighting in Ghana, the Monte Griffo brothers fighting in Derby as well. So yeah, got a nice busy end to the year. This trip, then straight to London from here into fight week with Giorgio. On Thursday morning I'll be back up to join Brad Casey for his fight week in Leeds. And then the moment he gets out of the ring, I'm hoping to ping down to Derby to catch the Monte Griffo boys. I think I'll definitely be able to make one of them. I think the time might be a bit strict on the fighter, the brother that fights early. I'm not 100% sure what the order of the show is yet, but yeah, I'm going to try my best to be there for both.
With Giorgio Visioli versus Joe Howorth, have you and Dave had a little chat off camera about kind of the chances of Joe and how much of a kind of danger he possesses going in there on the 17th in London?
Yeah, look, we rate Joe. I think we know what he brings to the ring. There's always might be some surprises. He's not the heaviest heavy hitter, but he's strong. He's compact. He's got good fundamentals, and he really, really wants to change his life. He right now he's seeing Giorgio as his sort of way through to the next door. And look, I think everyone's maybe favouring Giorgio a little bit, but only because of how exceptional he's been. He really hasn't put a foot wrong. He's looked great doing it. He's been very clinical and dominant in every performance he's been in so far. So, yeah, we're just seeing Wilder walk past. Your best mate.
Deontay Wilder.
Your best mate, isn't it?
Oh, I've met Deontay once in my life.
I've never met him.
Yeah.
Can't lie. I seen him at the hotel earlier. And I thought, no, you're big, you. didn't realise how big it was.
How many rounds does a prime Sonny Edwards go with Deontay Wilder?
Prime, both prime. I'm very good at staying away in my prime. I was very, very good at staying out of the way, and usually you can see his shots coming from, you know, a long distance. So maybe a few until he catches me.
Okay, Sonny, thank you very much for speaking to IFLTV. I'm sure we'll catch up with you before the end of the year, if not the end of the week. Anything else you'd like to say before we finish?
No, a big shout out to Umar Kremlev, a big shout out to Iba for having me over. The hospitality's been amazing so far. I'm looking forward to a busy end of the year, and then hopefully start straight into a massive 2026. I've got a trip with Dalton Smith to New York if that fight still goes ahead. We saw that the B sample, of course, failed for performance-enhancing drugs again. I think it's a bit of a liberty that we're still in a position when we have to fight someone that in the camp for this fight, in the build-up for this fight, failed a drugs test. But as boxers, we're just the smallest cog. Now, you can always jump out of the way if you want to, but it has a big impact on your career and your future. So, yeah, I know Dalton's going to go in full steam ahead with a lot of confidence, regardless of all the noise around it, and so he should. He's a phenomenal fighter, and I think will be world champion on the 10th of January.
Sonny, thank you very much, mate. Cheers. Oh.